Dear viewers, welcome you all. Today I am going to start a topic, transfer of property, TOP, Transfer of Property Act of 1882. Now transfer of property takes place is two ways. One, by the operation of law. For example, execution of a decree of a court, insolvency, succession, etc. And second, by act of parties. Now, act of parties is further subdivided into testamentary succession, which is governed by Indian Succession Act, which we have already seen in earlier episodes. And second, inter vivos. Now, inter vivos Transfer of Property Act is applicable. Inter vivos means transfer by one living person to another living person. For example, X sells his property to Y. Here, a transfer of property has taken place between X and Y. Now, if the property is movable, Sale of Goods Act shall apply. And if the property is immovable, then Transfer of Property Act shall apply. Now, Transfer of Property Act covers a transfer by sale, mortgages, leases, leave and license, exchanges, gift, and actionable claim. I am going to cover all these after letting you know the basic concepts and some definitions. So in this episode, I plan to cover some basic concepts and few definitions. Now let's see definitions. Immovable property. Now this definition is taken from General Clause Act, which says immovable property shall include land, benefit to arise out of land, things attached to earth, or permanently fastened to anything which is attached to earth. Some examples: right of way, right to collect rent of immovable property, collect dues from fairs held on plot of land, right of fishery, a factory, any building, piece of machinery which is permanently grouted into the floor, etc. However, standing timber, growing crops, and grass are excluded from definition of immovable property. In short, if a thing cannot change its place without injury to it, then it becomes a immovable property. Trees, for example, oak or neem or teak trees, which when cut is used as a timber, is only excluded from the definition of illegal property. All other trees are considered as movable property. So also, growing crops and grass is also considered as movable property. Now, movable property. All other property which is not immovable is movable property. Now, attested definition is same as what we saw in Indian Succession Act. So I am not repeating it here. Now, the law does not require all the documents to be attested. For example, mortgages and gifts must be attested, while sale, exchange, and leases need not be attested. Only I would like to mention here that it is necessary that attesting witness must sign amino attestandi, which means signed for the purpose of certifying the document that he saw the executant sign in his presence. If a person puts his signature for any other purpose, for example, approving the transaction, it is not attesting witness. Attestation does not stop the attestant, that is, except that he witnesses the execution of deed, he can deny everything else. So he need not know the contents of the documents. Same case which is we saw in the will. Important to note here that if the attestation is not valid, the document cannot be enforced in court of law. It loses its validity. Attached to earth, definition says, means anything which is either rooted in the earth, trees, shrubs, etc., or which is embedded in the earth, for example, buildings, walls, etc., and attached to whatever is embedded for the permanent beneficial enjoyment of that to which it is attached. For example, the doors, windows, ceiling fan, etc. Now, what does it mean by notice? A person is said to have notice of a fact when he actually knows the fact, which is called actual or express notice. And second is a constructive notice, when but for a willful attestation, willful absenteeism from any inquiry or search which ought to have been made, or gross negligence. This is called constructive or implied notice. To give you some example, a person refusing to accept a registered letter sent by a registered post is deemed to have a constructive notice. Suffice here to put it on record that constructive notice can arise in following 5 cases. 1. Willful absenteeism from inquiry or search, gross negligence, registration, actual possession, and notice to the agent. Let's see some examples. Gross negligence. In a transaction of sale of a immovable property, agreement to sell was made and a month period of 2 months was decided to make the sale deed for the prospective purchaser to find out title of the property. He doesn't do anything, no search or enquiry, then it is his fault. Then it is said that he had a notice of it. Registration. If a document is compulsorily registrable and a proper registration is done, then it serves as a constructive notice. Actual possession. You must visit the place and location to check whether it is vacant or someone is already in possession of the property. If you don't do it, then you are at fault, and this is said that you had a constructive notice. Notice to the agent. If notice is given to an agent while he is acting on one's behalf and in the course of the business to which such fact is material, it is assumed that constructive notice is given. But if the agent behaves fraudulently and conceals the fact from principal, which need not be proved, then it is serves as an exception. We stop it here today. Next episode, we shall see what's the definition of transfer of property, which is section 5, what property can be transferred and what cannot be transferred, etc. Thank you. I repeat here, for any personal consultancy, you can contact me at advsdbapat@gmail.com. Thank you very much.